as I walk round the festival during the days that are leading up to this Saturday event here in the George Centre is that I am very mindful of the grants and money that's been provided for projects within the town of Lincolnshire. And whatever your viewpoints of whether we should leave the EU will depend very much on how you personally feel. I will be very much saddened to think that I've seen some of the projects that were funded by the EU, educational grants that provided opportunity for a wealth of individuals, and just the sheer delight of knowing that some projects enabled parklands to be restored and plants were obviously reinstated, that no one can answer that question which keeps bugging me. What are we going to gain and what are we going to lose? And my heart tells me I was right to vote in the way that I did, but I'm now very fearful for everybody who comes with me and goes out in the community, because I just don't think it's going to be the community that I was brought up to believe, that we care for everyone.
Having the world know that we voted that way, how do we go about rebuilding those bridges with other countries, and particularly other European countries, I think?
Well, I just find that it's made me look at myself and how I've always loved hearing other languages, just on a very basic level. Even though I would say that I don't get that opportunity to speak a foreign language, I know that sitting here today, that what effort did I make to learn Polish? What effort did I learn to speak Portuguese? I've lived in this community a long time, and I can put my hands up and say I'm ashamed of what's happened, and and it's not happened yet, but I have seen more hatred towards people. If I want to eat alternative food, and I've enjoyed seeing other cultural foods, other ethnicity, or just like we have a Brazilian week or a German week or a French week in one of the supermarket magazines, am I going to be denied those foods? Am I going to feel that people will not get the enrichment that has been here in our country, which I think did welcome people? But now I'm almost feeling as though I'm going to be denuded of something what was a very big part of my life. But I'm going to have to try harder to say others stop things. And I think you have to get your reserves from somewhere and continue. But I'm not going to change, and I'm going to light my candle and say see sense.
You know, if we're breaking ties with our closest neighbours, how on earth are we ever going to sort this world out?
To make sure that those people that have been elected to serve us are made accountable for the fact that they have failed. There should be some way of actually saying, although there are traditions, I think it's time now to say we can do it differently, and we actually ask the people in our country to give us permission to say it's not worked. There are so many talented people, and they have the heart and mind to bring about change. They actually don't need people to say. When I used pounds and ounces, I was well blessed. When I bought my products from a market, I could buy so many inches of fabric. It's much more than that, isn't it? It's much more. It's actually caring about beyond where you live. And now, with the talk of border controls, I feel as though I should find a way to get off the island safely, because my friends are further afield, and I embrace every culture, every creed, but also I'm a richer person from actually knowing that humanity matters.
Yeah. Was there a definite generational divide in that Brexit vote?
From my viewpoint, I felt as though why we're still at this stage now is that people would like another referendum. Things are costly, there's been a lot of wasted money, but people are not happy because they haven't felt they were engaged with. No one's got a clear idea of what's going to happen, and that is very unsettling. If you work with the young children, they often bring about good ideas and they will engage in a way that adults won't. So yes, they are obviously our future.
We can connect across the world through computers these days, and I suppose our children, the next generation or the younger generation, are going to be doing that more and more. Well, I wonder if that will build bridges or make us further away. I don't know.
It may do, but I do think that there's a very strong voice, which, some people will say like a political voice. And during my lifetime, I haven't seen that younger voice. I haven't seen the demonstrations in the same way as, years back. People are saying it's okay to say no to this, no to that. We don't wish it to be done like that. And that is my only hope, that we can take to the streets in peaceful ways, design our banners and to say this is wrong.
Woman, I marched the street to free Nelson Mandela and anti-apartheid, and it worked.
Yes, but Mrs. Thatcher, this is Grantham. Mrs. Thatcher didn't approve of Nelson Mandela, did she? And what a wonderful human being he was. And his spirit will live on forever.
Yes, it will. Are you for or against the statue of Thatcher going up in Grantham?
I have an idea for where Mrs. Thatcher's statue could be placed so that she could be given some dignity and respect, because I'm aware that many people don't hold the massive consensus of opinion. Why would it not be possible to place it along the riverbank so that people could walk to where she lives on North Parade? They could follow what I would call, there is a Newton Trail which has come into being, but we could place her so that she's near to the school where her formative science input was obviously given to her, or she may have had a natural ability, and people could walk across those lovely fields, go up peacefully to the school, come down, and then look to see where she lived, and then she would be in what is seen as a place of peace.
Susan, I think you could be the bridge builder between the divide of the people of Grantham and the debacle of the Margaret Thatcher statue.
It will get damaged because of the hurt that she brought into being with the poll tax, and that has to be recognised. Families were absolutely almost on the brink of collapse. And this is Grantham, and we don't actually see that level of deprivation, but there are people who need support and need help, and the bridge project will bring that about.